Hello from the city of London. Today, who do we have with us?
Hi, I'm Alessia.
Hey Alessia, how are you? How are you truly feeling right now, this moment of time in life?
I'm great. I'm excited. I've never been on a podcast before, so I think it's exciting, and I look forward to see what comes out of this.
I'm so happy that you've agreed to come on the podcast as a guest, and I'm going to leave the floor to you to tell us a bit about yourself. So, Alessia, who are you?
Great. So, I think to describe myself, I'd say like a people person. I'm definitely a people person, and in my free time and in my work, all I do is bring people together to have fun, have a great time, learn from each other. And that's been shaping a lot like who I am as a person and the connections I've made, and in the end it ended up shaping also the type of work that I am doing in my day-to-day. I'd say in my free time I really always try to see what's new. I live in London. There's so much constantly going on, but then also out of London, like I don't know.
Do you like exploring other cities in the UK?
I would say other cities in general.
In other countries.
I feel a bit guilty about how little I've visited the UK.
Alessia just came back from Cyprus.
Yes, I just came back from Cyprus, which is a big burn, exactly. But yeah, I just love exploring everything everywhere. As you know, like I was recently and it was Persian New Year and it was Ramadan, so much learning. And like I have a friend there, so whenever I can I just like go and meet my friends everywhere, or like bring them all together.
That's something I love about you, Alessia. Like you're so good at community building, bringing like uniting people. And so Alessia is the co-lead of the Women at Adobe network here in Adobe, and she's like, I literally said this to you before, but like you're such a good motivator. Whenever there's like an event, I know you're gonna be in the room, and you're gonna like, I'll walk in the room and you're always there, and you're like yes, and like bringing the energy. Like, it's amazing. And honestly, like I don't think you realize how much of an impact it makes. Like there was one of the events for Women's History Month. I think it was the one with the Women's FA Cup. What was her name again?
Astrid.
Astrid organized it, but the speaker. Was it Megan? Anyway, she was great. She did a great speech, and I don't know if it was that event or another one, but you at the start, like I remember it was kind of quiet, maybe kind of tense, but you were like yeah, I love this, or you were just sharing.
I think it was the
thoughts.
Ramadan, probably the Ramadan. Yeah, maybe. I think it was that.
Like yeah, I remember I was like, it really stood out to me, and I was like, oh, I love that she's doing that, you know, and it's like you make the room more comfortable. Everyone feels a bit more warm and like.
Thank you. That means a lot. It's actually a bit of a joke with my boyfriend and my family, like that I just show up to whatever anyone has to offer. If it's Adobe right now, like if there's any session I could just learn from, like why not? I don't give it for granted. I would say that there are these opportunities. I think we're quite lucky at Adobe that we're allowed to host sessions like this, and that we have people like yourself that want to host these sessions so that we can all show up. And if we have the time, because often there isn't that time, why not?
Yeah, and being open-minded to learn about other things. Like I loved that seeing you at the Ramadan event. I was like, oh, that's so cool.
I learned so much.
Asking questions.
I've told people about that.
Really?
Yeah, I've been telling people like, did you know this is how they break the fast, and also like the whole meaning behind it that I wasn't as close to, and I didn't know as much. And it definitely taught me a lot about like my peers in the office that are doing Ramadan and how to be more supportive.
And that's so appreciated, honestly.
I did have some few failed attempts where I invited people for lunch knowing that they were doing Ramadan, but I forgot in that moment, and I was like,
I mean, I can't speak for everyone, but for me, like maybe unpopular opinion for people who fast, but I like being in settings where people are eating while fasting, because it makes me forget that it makes me distracted, you know.
Okay, fair.
Like I see people eating, it's like, oh, I finished eating, like it's fine, you know, it's normal.
Good makes me feel better.
So don't feel bad about that. But so you were saying you're a people's person, but what do you love about people? What do you love about being with people?
I think the learning about their world. And maybe it's because I've always been in an international school, so that was very like international.
IB, right?
Yeah. Then I moved to London at 18, and again, very international university. And then I think my friends group since then has always been like just a lot of cultures, a lot of people, just learning about them, learning about their traditions. I always say this thing that I love going to people's houses, like my friends' houses, because I need to know like their world, like their being, like how when they sit on the couch, like what do they look at, you know, like what, I don't know, what inspires them, what do they read. It's just interesting to learn that from people, and then like enrich yourself with that knowledge, I'd say. And then you get even closer to them because you find out this side of them that would have never come out.
Yeah,
but
definitely. What's been one of the most interesting things you've learned about people, whether it's from going to their house or something in their culture? Or...
Yeah, I think this year specifically, because I mean I've been to an Indian wedding and then like Persian New Year and Ramadan and all of that. I actually really noticed how much these cultures are very empathetic. And very like really strong communities, you know, and that they try to focus on like themselves as individuals a lot. And maybe that's missing in my day-to-day. Like I do that on a personal level, but I don't do that from a community level. And I saw that in those cultures, how like you put, even like in Ramadan, like you put the time to understand your body, understand what you need, what are your cravings, what you can live without. Or something that I found very interesting with Ramadan, which is like you have to pick where to put your energy, because obviously not eating and not drinking, you have less. But that's so important in life, you know, to like pick where you put your energy, what you give attention to, where you focus, what you let it influence your day-to-day, and what you can actually like ignore and not get upset about. So it's a lot of like this more mindful and like internal like understanding and being there for each other. I really like learned that a lot from going in depth in these communities and like these different religions, and I want to take that back on my day-to-day. Even if maybe like I'm not of the same like religion, like there's no reason. That value really resonated, and I want to like make that part of who I am and how I approach my days. 100%.
What's a value that you want to implement or that you've started to implement?
I'd say this one. Yeah, just being a bit more mindful of where I put my energy. I think that is definitely a good one. Prioritization. Yes, not only in work, but in like life. And also part of the prioritization is also like me time and recharging and doing nothing, which is okay too, you know. Because I'm a people person, I always feel that need to see all my friends. It's almost like if I haven't seen them all this week, I did something wrong. But it's okay actually not to, you know, like if they're friends, we can meet next week or we can connect differently. But it's also about just taking the time for yourself as well.
What's your favorite like self-care ritual, or what do you like to do to treat yourself?
Well, treat myself. I'm a big fan of massages. That is like all my Adobe well-being fund is on massages all the time. Whenever I can, like a massage for sure.
Did you do the massage when they brought the masseuse in?
I have it tomorrow booked.
Oh, no way. Oh, it's tomorrow?
Well, I think it's the last Thursday of every month.
Okay. Let me know how it is.
Yeah, I'm super excited. I can't wait. It's only 50 minutes, but it's amazing. I mean, it's free, so...
Only 50 minutes?
15.
Oh, 15. I was like, 50 is a lot.
Yeah, no, 50 is a lot. 15 minutes, unfortunately, only. But I think it'll be nice to just relax.
Yeah.
I like to read. I really like to read, and I try to read as much. I have this goal of 12 books a year, which...
One for each month?
In theory. Okay. I do more, but I want to keep it 12 because I don't want to put pressure with this target. You know, I think 12 is a good number, and if I can do 12, I should be satisfied. If I can do 15 one year, great. And if I can only do 12, that's okay too, you know, because life comes in the way. And it's just very calming, you know, to put yourself in a nice setting where you can like feel like you can read for hours and not get disrupted. So I really like to do that with my time whenever there's a chance.
You have your book Bible with all the books that you recommend and you read. The first time we spoke, you recommended Squiggly Career.
Yes.
And Alessia, I'm the slowest reader in the world. Like I take ages to read books, to watch movies, to finish shows. Like
you're too busy.
I need to focus where I put my energy and prioritize where my time goes.
Yeah.
But do you know the show Gilmore Girls?
Of course.
It took me 3 years to finish Gilmore Girls. Like,
okay, that is legal.
Yeah, it's bad. But anyways, the fact that I read even like quite a few pages of Squiggly Career means it's a good book, because my patience is not high with books. And like a concept that the book talked about was, again, prioritization of like strengths versus areas of improvement, or some like to say weaknesses. They recommended like 80% of your time should be focused on leveraging what you're good at and what comes naturally to you.
Yeah.
And then 20% on maybe where you need to improve. What do you think about that? Do you think that's
I agree.
That's a good comment.
I could not agree more, actually. And in the last few years, I've done some coaching and really made me realize how. This is a quote from one of my from Tara Rule, I can mention. She's one of the coaches that has helped me a lot.
Oh, she's nice.
And she was saying how like we're raised thinking that we have to be circles, we have to be good at everything, you know. And actually, the more you grow, the more like you realize it's okay to be like a star. You know, you should be good at some things, but it's okay not to be as good as others. And maybe you enjoy less the things that you're not good at, and obviously you should always improve. But you can also pick on what you can improve. Like, you can't be perfect at everything. So it's about, like, being really good at what you're good at and what you like doing. Because chances are the people around you might hate that. So they need you to be good at it. And then where you really hate it, like, it's okay to not do it if it's not important. So, for example, like, I do think public speaking is important for everyone. So even if you hate it, you have to do it. You know, you're always going to be talking about something to someone, and they need to understand what you're saying in an exciting, cohesive way. So that's important. But there are some skills that actually, like, if you really don't want to do them and they're not part of your, like, the job that you don't need it, there's no need for you to develop them, you know? I still believe that a basic understanding of everything is important, but you don't need to be the best at everything. It's okay to just like push on who you are and leverage that.
But do you think that changes with experience, or I don't want to say age, because I think different age you can have a different level of experience and maturity. But let's say, like, if you're earlier in your career, do you think that it's still 80-20, or is it more like 60-40, and then as you progress and you understand what you're really good at or what you really love, what comes naturally to you, then maybe it becomes, I don't know, even 90-10 or...
That's a good point, actually, because probably at the start of your career, there's less, you don't maybe know what you're, like, great at.
Yeah.
And you're figuring it out. So it's more important to just really put yourself out there. But I think a way to get around that is, it's important to stay open. And obviously it depends on the job that you're in. But if you're, like, in a business world, you know... there's a lot of different jobs that mean a lot of different things depending on the company that you're in, the team that you go in. So being open to where the opportunities like come up and like being brave to just jump on them and figuring things out, that could be a way to really understand, yes, I like this, but I'm only like really enjoying this part of the job and not that part of the job. So shaping the job more towards that. So yeah, it's important, I think, to stay open. Absolutely. And like, I'll give you an example. I started my career in sales and I thought it was a useful skill, 100%, because everyone's selling something all the time. Any company is selling. Yeah. So understanding a sales mentality and like the interactions with customers is very important. But then in the role, I realized that what I enjoyed the most were the most like strategic and scalable aspect of that. So from that, I moved into a strategy role. But going into it was important, being open to being into it, because that was the opportunity in front of me. So I think it depends, for sure.
Yeah. And what would you say, so I didn't know you were in sales actually. So that was when you were in Cisco, right?
When I was in Cisco, yeah, I did my internship in sales, my graduate scheme in sales, and I got hired to work in sales.
Okay.
And then I moved into channel sales because that was a bit more strategic and scalable, which already was kind of like where I was interested in. And then from there, strategy and planning for
the UK.
What
does channel sales entail?
Basically, in the case of Cisco, they have a big partner network where they sell Cisco products. So I was in charge of helping BT sell Cisco.
Okay.
And BT at the time was our biggest partner.
Yeah.
So it was very important for us that they were successful, because they were making a lot of our sales for us. Okay. So if you think about it, it's doubling the amount of people that are, or tripling, or a lot more, even more, the amount of people that are selling your products, because it's your company and all the partners.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
And throughout your time, like from Cisco to Adobe, your whole career, what would you say has been one of the most challenging experiences you had, and how did that help you get where you are today?
I'd say the most challenging experience work-wise has been when I joined Adobe. And it's not because people weren't nice and they weren't helpful, but it was a very hard onboarding because it's a very fast-paced company. So I used to describe it as like everyone's on a speedboat and I'm on a canoe trying to keep up. That's how I was feeling, you know?
Nice analogy.
Yeah, that's literally how I was feeling every day. Like I didn't know the basics to be able to understand the changes.
Yeah.
But there's nothing no one could have done to help, other than like everyone was there, very helpful. Like I had all the content. It just took time. So that was definitely the hardest, but it was also the most rewarding, because I remember thinking at the time, one day all of this will be easy. One day all of this will be easy. Took me a year, and then it made sense. You know, things were making sense. And I guess even having the support around me of people being like, it's okay if you mess up or you don't fully understand something right away. Like, you need to take the time, and having that environment around me that to make me feel comfortable and that I needed the time definitely made a difference.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
And so I take it you're feeling fulfilled, you're liking it.
I'm loving it. I've grown so much in the last 3 years. And now looking back, I feel like I was a baby. I don't know, like just somewhere new, you know. You always feel very small when you go somewhere new. And also I joined Adobe like straight after the pandemic, so there was also a bit that I hadn't been networking in person for a long time. So I remember the first times I came to the office, I used to feel so weird in my interactions, and I was thinking, Alessia, you used to love talking to people. Why are you so weird? Stop being so weird? But it took time to like build up that confidence 100%. Again, and like learning like basic things about like networking and connecting with people. But no, very happy now.
I think that is something that was experienced worldwide, honestly. Because like you, I also love talking to people, but after COVID, it was like, okay, wait. And I was still in school, so it was like, okay, like speaking to my classmates and stuff. Like we were doing lessons online, and then we moved to like in person. And I noticed that some people were maybe a little bit more awkward or struggled to like have social interactions, but that was normal, right? Like it's totally valid, and like it explains a lot of the social anxiety people have today. But I mean, I guess since we're both people who are quite social, do you feel like you understand when people are maybe less of a people's person and they struggle with conversations and like their social battery runs out a bit fast? Do you feel like you can resonate with that or like understand their perspective?
I definitely understood them more at the time. But I also realized, and even with the help of my coaches, how like if you are that type of person, there are some tricks and tips that can help you become more comfortable. And for example, even though I'm very like I could chat to a wall, I'm actually very shy when I have to talk to someone that I don't know that's much more senior than me. And there's two things that I've learned that are really helpful that I would actually recommend to anyone that maybe is a bit more shy in these scenarios. The first one is to make them speak. Like, just ask them questions. Turns out that if you let people talk, they love you at the end of the day, you know? So just be genuinely interested in the questions that you ask, and it will just follow through a natural conversation. And then the second one I would say is that I find it quite helpful is I find it easier if I work with someone senior to then build that connection that then off work I'm much more relaxed. And with the woman at Adobe has been a great way to have an excuse to talk to very senior people about work stuff, about events, activities, things that we were doing. And then it made it much more easier when we were not talking about Adobe, but just like having conversations or having career conversations. So I would say I do empathize a lot more, for sure, with people that are shy. And I can say there are tips and tricks that can help you be more comfortable, because at the end of the day, if you're too quiet and reserved, unfortunately, louder people will be noticed more or will be heard more, even if your work is much better, because it's what people see and it's what people hear.
Yeah. I remember something you told me back at the start of my internship was, it's not always the people who are the best, but the people who are the most vocal about what they do.
100%.
Who get the promotions, who get the visibility. And
yeah. And actually, even like being just focused, it's a bit tough, because we are raised in a way, maybe especially as women, that we want to help. We're always down to help for everything, everyone. Anyone needs anything, we will do it. But then maybe we don't get visibility and recognition. And being aware of what's important for your manager, what's important for your manager's manager, what's important for some key stakeholders that might have an influence with your career and your path, and doing things that directly affect that positively, that will bring you much further than being the Red Cross in the company, you know? So it's hard, because you want to be a nice employee. Like the you think you're being like the good employee by saving everyone and being that Red Cross, but actually you're not playing the game. And people that are doing that then end up with much more visibility and opportunities. It's tough.
How do you navigate talking about what you do? Because I find that it's something that, like, it's out of my comfort zone, at least for me. Like, okay, I did XYZ, or being vocal about it, like posting on LinkedIn. That's something I do now, but in the beginning it was very intimidating, and I was like, oh my god, like, I just really didn't like putting don't get me wrong, I love attention on, like, my birthday, or like social life, things like that. I love
my birthday, 100%.
Please give me all the attention,
all the love, all the love.
It's amazing. Like, I don't understand when people don't, like, I can understand, but I don't agree with the concept of, like, oh, like, I don't want attention on my birthday. I love it. But when it comes to, like, achievements, like, deep inside me, I like, if people start, like, being like, oh yeah, like, she did this, or I get, like, I don't know, like, the spotlight's on me, and you know what I mean? But that's important, and you do need to talk about what you do. And
I know, it's a tough one, and it's very funny because we're very similar on the birthday thing. Like, I don't know, my friends at point of the year can't wait till my birthday comes up so that I can stop talking about it. Okay, I feel.
When do you start counting down to your birthday?
So my birthday is in December. I feel entitled.
December what?
17.
Oh my god, mine's 22nd.
Are you a Sagittarius?
I'm a Capricorn.
Oh, close enough.
Yeah, December baby.
Yes. But when you told me about your birthday, I was like, we probably are similar star signs, though, or close enough, because it's something that we have in common a lot.
Yeah.
After August, I feel entitled to start talking about it. So
when winter's coming around,
yeah, like summer's done, we can start planning. So I think there's a few different things. So the first thing is, you asked, how do I talk about what I do? And I think for that, it's easy for us when people ask us what to do to be very, like, detail specific and say, like, exactly what we did. But actually, that is it's always a small part of something much bigger, right? And people might not, if you say, like, I worked on the use cases for this product, for this vertical, obviously your manager might care because that's what you need to do. But if you're talking to someone that's, like, out of the industry, or someone more senior, like, this is very specific. So it's really important to know, like, the level of the person that you're talking to, like, what do they need to know to understand what you do, and often up-leveling that by a lot can make it more simple for you to communicate what you do. And it can also make you feel more it can really, like, make you feel more proud, you know, of your work. Because yes, the use cases are super important. I'm just using that as an example, you know. But actually, if you say something, I I'm working on assets that will help the Creative Cloud pipeline, you know? That is much more impactful. That feels like a bigger purpose, you know, something greater. And it's not a lie, it's true, but it's just like tailoring to the audience that you're talking to. It's how you shape the story and how you talk to yourself. And then you can get out of that like feeling a little bit awkward because it's part of something bigger. Yes, it's true you did that, and more people in the company are doing that, and it's a story that can be shared. And I feel like if they said exactly the activity that you did, I would also feel a bit like exposed, you know?
Yeah.
But if you're linking it to like a goal, so that's why to remove those details of what you do on a day-to-day, just going back to the 3 main goals that you're supporting, that you're working towards. The wider picture. Yeah. It can give a lot more insight. It can make you feel more empowered, and also takes away from that nitty-gritty detail. And that's actually one of the biggest things I had to learn when I joined Adobe. Because people would ask me, like, what have you been doing? Or I had to give an update on something, and I just, like, would say all the possible details available. And that was wrong, because you lose people. They don't care, and you're missing the point. Just having those top 3 things that you know you're working towards, you have an impact on, that just give that constant context, and then make you feel a bit more confident, I guess.
Yeah, because that way it's a way to reassure yourself, but it makes sense when you're speaking their language, right?
Yeah, and especially when you're young in career, or like you're starting your career, you might feel that when you tell people what you do, if you're talking to a VP, obviously it has a small impact to what they are driving, you know? So you might feel a bit, I don't know, like very small when you're talking about what you're doing, but actually linking it to their priority, it really makes you feel bigger. And also you can connect with them and create that connection, and they see, oh yeah, what you're doing is actually super useful for me, you know? So it's being relevant to who you talk to as well.
I like that. That's great. You always have such good advice about like career visibility. And
you're too kind. I just like try and learn from books and LinkedIn and talks and whoever has anything to say.
Do you feel like this information, like across LinkedIn, across self-development books, all these platforms and resources, is always valuable, or do you feel like it can get repetitive?
It definitely can get repetitive, but I also find that you forget it. So
it's more of a reminder.
There's been a few books that I've read that I'm a bit OCD, so I cannot just drop a book. If I start it, I have to finish it. So I was a bit annoyed throughout the book, being like, common sense, you know? But then I'm sure if I actually reread them 2 years later, I wouldn't feel like it was common sense. It was probably because I was reading something similar or listening to something similar. And I just think that reiteration is very important to like make sure you make the time for it. And just, I'll give an example. You know, maybe if you take coaching lessons or mentoring, like some of the times the things that they make you think about make sense. But if you didn't have that coaching session, you would never put the time in your diary to think about them, you know? Yeah. So it's almost creating that space to remind yourself and focus on you. But there's just so much out there that is different, and you can
always extract something.
100%. And even like I was reading like Think Like a Monk from Jay Shetty, and that was so useful. And maybe it's not necessarily a career book, you know, but it still, I think, really helped me with my career and like how to approach things at work. So there's a lot of like interactions and interoperability with like all the different stories and books.
What about the book did you feel you can transfer to career?
To career. Okay, so it talks about this example of that the monks had in his experience, in the experience that he explains. These monks basically had to walk for 2 hours every day and do the same route, and every day come back having noticed something new. Okay, so I've adopted that in my personal life. That sometimes when I'm bored, I'm waiting for the bus, I really try not to use my phone and like pay attention to something I hadn't noticed. But then in my work, that works as well, because when we need to think outside of the box. And no one tells me, okay, we have this challenge, this is the solution we've come up with, but think of something else. It's not people don't show up like that. They give me a solution and then I can run with it, or I can pause and just think, and try think of something different, or think of other options, and just like putting the time to not just like be reactive and just whatever I get, I go, and actually stop and think. That's been something that has really had an impact, because it helps you like question what you see. You don't just go with it.
I love that, like seeing what's something different you noticed today. That makes it like exciting, like a challenge. Like I have to spot something different.
Especially if you have like the same commute, or things like that. You can put the effort in, and sometimes what you notice is insane. Like it's really amazing. You're like, I would have missed that if I didn't put attention to it.
Are you referring to something specific?
No. Honestly, the one example. Okay, I have an example, but it's not as. It's not as enlightening, but I remember being shocked by it. I went for a run with my best friend in Lisbon, I remember. And she's way fitter than me, so I stopped before. And then I was stretching, waiting for her. And I was like, okay, I'm not going to use my phone, and I am going to just look, And I was looking. And then, this is going to sound very cheesy, but there were some amazing flowers next to me that I had completely missed, And I was shocked. I was like, wow, they're just here. And I just would have never seen them. I would have been on my phone on social media. So it's nice to actually see beauty in like the smaller things right around you without having to like connect with your phone.
It's so good mentally, like when you're not thinking about your phone and you're actually just appreciating what's around you. And like you notice little things like the smile on a kid's face, or like an older lady maybe trying to get onto the bus, like little things you touch on. Like I find the times that growing up during school, like whenever there was an exam season, I'd like go off social media fully, like do a detox to really like lock in, be full focus. And I always found that when those were the times in my life that I was the most like at peace, and like I had the most self-love, and like I didn't compare myself at all, because I was just thinking about myself and what I was doing and what's around me, So you just become more satisfied and like appreciative.
Yeah, and like aware and present. I think that's also something that then you get distracted to. But yeah.
Love it. Conscious of time, because you need to drop soon. But Alessia, what's a message you want to give to the audience? You can say anything, as much or as little as you'd like to say.
I would say, and it's a theme that has come up a lot with like my friends in their personal life and their career, and it's just be yourself. Like there's no point in being in this world if you're not yourself, and figure out how to bring that version of yourself with your friendships, with your work, with your family. Like everyone needs to know you for who you are, because there's no one else out there to be that person. And that's the point of your existence, be you, bring that wherever you can. And if people don't like that, you'll find other people, I think I'd like to leave with that, because it's something big that I've learned as well.
It's very important too, being your true self, because like also if you're not, then you just don't seem like as real and genuine when people are interacting with you,
and you don't connect. Like you might meet people that are completely different to you, but actually love you for who you are by being yourself. You don't have to be like everyone else to excel or to be loved. You might actually excel and be even more loved because you're so different and you add so much to someone else's life.
It's and again the point on leveraging your strengths by being you.
Exactly.
Another thing I like to do on this podcast is ask you, what were your 3 G's of the day? So 3 good things about today.
3 good things about today. Wow, on the spot.
Or it could be 3 goals that you have for the rest of the day. Like,
no, I can say 3 good things. I think this podcast, like I've never been on a podcast, so this is really like, I'm very grateful for the opportunity, and I'm very excited and happy to have been part of it. I think it was a great day work-wise as well, because there were a lot of people that I work with in the office, and I just love connecting with them in person, not necessarily in the meetings, having those side conversations. And the third one, yeah, I don't know.
Did you eat something yummy?
I had a cheeky chocolate. But I feel
Which one?
Just one of the ones.
Galaxy?
No,
the dark chocolate.
Yeah. But I don't know if it's a good thing or if a weakness.
Well,
the temptation was too high.
It spreads some serotonin. You know, that's what this podcast is all about. It spreads serotonin.
Exactly. Give me a lot of joy. No, but it's been like a great week so far with Easter, the long holiday. Yeah. I just feel very refreshed. I'm very happy. So
and it's a 4-day work week to this week, last week, and next week.
All the bank holidays. All great things.
Do you have any plans for the next bank holiday?
Yes. So I'm actually going to Rome for a friend's birthday.
Oh,
I'm
fun.
super excited about that. And yeah, can't wait.
Yay. Eat well.
Oh, for sure. Plus 5 kilos for sure. I'm allowed. It's Italy.
Yes, you are. Speaking of, sorry, I know I'm going off track.
No worries.
With Italian food, where can you get the best Italian food in London? Like, best restaurant?
I think it depends on what you want to eat, but I would say there's some safe choices for pizza for sure. There's this place called Farina.
Farina, okay.
Yeah, which means dough. It's amazing. It's heaven.
Okay.
Also, this other place called Cinquecento, but I have a fear that it closed because I tried to go 2 weeks ago and it was closed.
Oh no.
So that would break my heart. And then the last one, 50 calò in Charing Cross. Insane. Super thin. Yes. Okay. Super thin pizza. Amazing.
Oh, I love thin pizza.
Yeah. So
okay, I'm gonna have to check those out.
And let me know how you find them. It's heaven. They're
Can
heaven.
you order any of them?
Yeah, but I would just go there in person because
yeah.
I do delivery with pizza, but it's not as good as when it's warm and it's there. You're there, especially if
true
it's thin.
Experience.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, there you go, guys. From a true Italian herself. Check out those pizza racks. And thanks so much, Alessia, for
Thank you for having me.
Of course, for being a guest. Would love to have you again in the future.
Thank you.
And we hope this gave you some serotonin. And bye-bye. Bizou.
Bye.